Alright guys, this video is on photosynthesis. So I always start with some questions and also end with these same questions. Hopefully the video will make it crystal clear, answers for all these questions. Primary function of photosynthesis. What do light-independent reactions produce? So we want to know the differences also there between light-independent and dependent reactions. We'll go over that. What colors does chlorophyll absorb? You could see that as a question. The Calvin cycle, we would like to be familiar with that and just the basics of it. And my final question got cut off, it looks like here, by the video, but what is the difference between photosystem 1 and photosystem 2? So we'd like to know, again, just the basics on that. Obviously, you get into a lot of detail, but we just want to know basic stuff. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert energy from the sun into stored energy. Photosynthesis brings together carbon dioxide and water in addition to sunlight in order to make sugar molecules. The primary function of photosynthesis is to convert the energy from the sun, which we call light energy, into chemical energy for food. And then one round of photosynthesis requires 6 molecules of carbon dioxide as well as 6 molecules of water. And when assembled, that creates food molecules. So to go even a little further here, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water with assistance from the sun's light is turned into 1 molecule of sugar, which would be written C6H12O6, along with 6 molecules of oxygen, so 6O2, as a byproduct. Okay, and reactions, so we want to know about light-dependent and independent. Light-dependent reactions use light to produce ATP, which then fuels the light-independent reactions. Although the overall outcome of photosynthesis is to produce oxygen, light-independent reactions produce sugar in order for the plant to keep functioning the way it is supposed to. Light-dependent reactions take place on the thylakoid membranes. There are 4 major protein complexes in the thylakoid membrane, which is photosystem 1, photosystem 2, ATP synthase, and cytochrome B6F complex. Together, these 4 complexes create ATP and NADPH. So a pigment will absorb all colors it does not reflect. For example, chlorophyll reflects green while it absorbs red, blue, violet, and so on. And that was one of our questions, right? Was about chlorophyll, right? What colors does chlorophyll absorb? Okay, and carbon dioxide is one of the reactants needed for photosynthesis. It is not one of the products because it has to bind with RUBP in order for the Calvin cycle to function and to create sugar and oxygen. And we'll get to the Calvin cycle here in a minute. And as far as rate is concerned, light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature all affect the rate at which photosynthesis occurs. Light is needed because that is the basis of photosynthesis. Without enough carbon dioxide, RUBP would be unable to combine with anything to work the Calvin cycle. In extreme cold or hot temperatures, photosynthesis may not function because there needs to be an optimal temperature for plant cells to be able to function. And then finally, photosynthesis uses light energy in order to make energy-rich organics or glucose. Cell respiration breaks down glucose in order to synthesize ATP. And I jumped ahead of myself a little bit there, but there's the glucose information. And then let's get into the Calvin cycle and photosystem 1 and 2. So the Calvin cycle, this is the process in which carbon fixation, conversion of inorganic carbon to organic compounds occurs in the light-independent reactions. It occurs in the stroma and overall produces a 3-carbon sugar. Photosystem 1 was named 1 since it was discovered before photosystem 2, but this does not necessarily represent the order of the electron flow. When photosystem 2 absorbs light, electrons in the reaction center chlorophyll are excited to a higher energy level and are trapped by the primary electron acceptors. Light, temperature, and carbon dioxide are known as limiting factors. So it looks like that one got cut off a little bit too. So those are the limiting factors. These limiting factors have the greatest impact on the rate of photosynthesis. Water as well as chlorophyll concentration, they're important, but are not considered a limiting factor. And with that, we get back to our questions. So a great time for the pause button and seeing if you can answer these questions. And the one question that did get cut off was one of the last things we talked about. What is the difference between photosystem 1 and photosystem 2?